Greetings nerdy list aficionados, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we're entering a realm of mystery, looking at mysterious superheroes. So our caveats. There's going to be two types of mysterious on this, to the reader and to the people in universe, sometimes a combo. I'm Sasha, and these are the top 10 mysterious superheroes. Number 10. The Question. We can go with either Vic Sage or Renee Montoya for this point, but either way, being mysterious is kind of this character's MO. The Question first debuted in Blue Beetle #1 back in 1967, and was modeled off of a classic pulp noir figure and actually one of Steve Ditko's earlier creations, Mr. A. His or her appearance is striking in that they have no face, wearing a special adhesive mask to mask their features. It renders them instantly mysterious to all who see them from the start, visually asking the question, just who is that? It shrouds them in mystery, and the Question loves a good mystery. He often operates behind the scenes in the shadows, gathering information, sorting clues, and looking to find the big picture. It's why sometimes his depiction can veer a bit into conspiracy theorist territory, particularly on the JLU. However, the Question adds something unique to DC. You don't have many characters like this, powerless yet rich in knowledge and operating in a tense but not necessarily always overtly action-packed way. He's definitely mysterious, that's for sure. Number 9. Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate dates all the way back to the Golden Age, from More Fun Comics number 55 back in 1940, and is as magical as they come, and has had a very convoluted set of backstories as a result, but this is part of what makes him so mysterious. From starting off as the mystic Naboo who trains Kent Nelson, to then having his powers transferred into the helmet of Dr. Fate, he's a bit of a character on the fringes for more casual fans, so it's very much a who? What? And so he can come across as quite mysterious, and even in universe people are often awed by his abilities as a guardian of order, which in itself is quite vague and hence mysterious. Order opposes chaos, yes, but what does that always mean? Because of the mystical magic helmet, Dr. Fate is an alias that has been held by many wearers, which can also make the Doctor appear different, and any being operating on a quasi-other-realmy scale appears quite mystical to us mortals. Also, just side note, that Young Justice episode where Wally is like, I don't believe in magic. Nonsense. In a superhero world, that's just forced conflict. Number 8. Rorschach. Coming from Alan Moore's Dark Age solidifying work, The Watchmen. Rorschach left quite the impression on those who read the series. And the fact that he is mysterious is a huge part of his character, from the swirling inkblot mask designed to make the reader question what they are seeing, as well as reflect some of the damage to his psyche and also the questions of his motives, which are no question to him, or to the readers who agree with his philosophy. The mystery of who Rorschach is ultimately ends up paying off big time for the reader, when they discover that he was in far more of the story than they thought. Since Watchmen was brought into the DC universe officially, there have been more Rorschachs, but none of them are Walter Kovacs. Definitely not in terms of how interesting they are. What are your thoughts on that expanded Watchmen universe? Alan Moore hates them, but that doesn't mean you have to. Number 7. The Phantom. This falls much more into the who is that category for a lot of people, but he's coming into the public domain soon, so get excited. The Phantom was a newspaper strip that began in February of 1936, so pre-Golden Age. He's a pre-Golden Age hero. However, in canon, the Phantom is mysterious. He is at first known as the Ghost Who Walks, and is set to defend the jungles of Bangala, a made-up African country. However, the Phantom is not one person, but several, a hero who passes the mantle down through the ages. You even get an oath. I swear to devote my life to the destruction of piracy, greed, cruelty, and injustice in all their forms, and my sons and their sons shall follow me. So, do you get powers? Is there a magic crystal skull? No, you're just some guy. But hey, you get a lot of lore and build up around you, so bonus points for that. Because of the story's mythology, this means you can also flash back to past Phantoms. There was also a 90s film that most people have forgotten, but not me, starring Billy Zane.
Well, guess what? He's back.
At least he's behind us.
Number 6. Shadow Man. The Shadow Man first debuts as the Shadow Man in Shadow Man #1 in 1992, and yes, we're talking about a hero from Valiant Comics. I know some of you have been asking for a long time. Shadow Man is actually extremely popular in comic circles, and yet outside of them, many people have never heard of him. Shadow Man is Jack Boniface, and he plays the saxophone, but sadly does not have a saxophone hologram a la Nightman. Shadow Man transforms into such when he is drugged one night at a bar and wakes up with a mysterious mark on his neck and a thirst for vengeance. He learns from his housekeeper who practices voodoo that a doorway has been ripped into his soul, and he will arise when shadows fall. He is extremely mysterious, even at times to himself, and while his stories are just cool, and he looks cool. If you haven't read The Shadow Man, check him out. It's dark, occult, and unique. Add something different to your repertoire. Also, he's a character of color for those who are looking to expand their collections in that way. Number 5. Shade, the Changing Man. He first appeared in Shade, the Changing Man #1 back in 1977, and was branded as a new kind of superhero. Always a great start. Shadow was initially a fugitive from another dimension, and would eventually team up with the Suicide Squad, the first iteration where some of the members were actually suicidal. Deadshot was not okay. Shade initially didn't have a connection to the DC universe, but became one of those characters who was folded in. Shade was a secret agent in his home dimension, but was framed for treason and sentenced to death. He came to Earth to clear his name. But then Shade would change again and be folded into Vertigo, and was now a poet sent to Earth to stop the tides of madness, and his past origin would be explained as him coming to Earth to amuse himself. He would be killed off and brought back many times in various forms as different characters, and would become a cult favorite like many Vertigo comics of the time. His comic would also discuss topics other comics wouldn't, like transgender issues. It's an interesting read. For characters in universe, it was very much who is Shade? What does he want? Which definitely makes the Shade mysterious. Number 4. Batman. Now hold on, hear me out. We all know who Batman is, you say. What's wrong with you? Well, depending upon when you are in canon, Batman is very mysterious to the people of Gotham City and those outside of it. There have been periods of his history when he operates so far in the shadows that people aren't even sure if he really exists, or if he's just some kind of urban legend thought up by police to scare criminals. In the New 52, when he meets Hal Jordan for the first time, he expresses the same sentiment, the belief that he was just a rumor. A man running around dressed like a bat? Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't believe it. But also, no, not if it was during the supervillain time period. If it's just corrupt Gotham time, then maybe. Still, Batman is the Dark Knight, and to those he hunts, he is quite mysterious. The mystery of who is the Batman, solved by only a core few, haunts the city. Also, I'll give it to comic Hush Riddler. He deserved to keep that knowledge. The comic book Hush, not Hush Riddler, they're different things. Bane 2. Props to Bane. Classic Bane, not neck snapping Bane. Back snapping Bane. Number 3. Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing has had a couple of iterations, first appearing in the 70s, but the version most people remember is Alan Moore's run in the 80s, which would revamp the character and turn him into a tragic yet horrific figure, a monster with a heart. The Swamp Thing is quite mysterious to the DC universe. Who is he? Is he even a person? What is his function? What is the green? How does he maintain it? The Swamp Thing has been a man, a concept, a man again, an earthbound elemental. It's been a journey with the Swamp Thing, that's for sure. You're never quite sure when he's gonna show up. Of late, post Rebirth, he's become almost like a mystical entity invoked when someone is set to harm the Earth, or by Constantine when he feels like it. Moore's Swamp Thing is really good, but also very depressing. Do you want to see an entire town wiped out by vampires and cry about it? Then read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Number 2. The Hanged Man. Astro City time and creeping up the list. Cause well, the Hangman is mysterious. It is his entire MO. Why is he there? I don't know. What does he do? Well, he protects the neighborhood of Shadow Hill. He's a floating shadowed specter with a noose around his neck and a burlap sack over his head. He's been active since the 19th century and has powers of some kind. He is drawn to those who have suffered and those in need. So despite his appearance, he is actually a comfort to those in Astro City. Well, some of them. They're also still a bit afraid of him. He appears to be able to alter memories in order to alleviate trauma, because when Astro City suffers a giant multiverse event that results in the erasure of one timeline and the creation of a new one man remembers his past life and his wife who no longer exists. The Hanged Man regularly visits him and offers him a chance to help forget, but he chooses not to, instead living with both memories. The Hanged Man is fond of him. He's just around and I love it. You need characters like that. Also, proper grammatical use of the word hanged. People are hanged. You hung a shirt. Different. Number 1. The Phantom Stranger. A character so mysterious that for years his powers have been undefined. His name is a mystery twice. The Phantom Stranger first debuted in The Phantom Stranger #1 back in 1952, and from the start he was designed to be mysterious. He had no official origin and still doesn't, instead having a rotating origin of 4, all of them equally likely. So that's fine, you can kind of choose your favorite if you feel he needs an origin. You got Caught in a Time Loop, a man who killed himself and was denied entry to heaven, a fallen angel, Judas, but that one is an outlier. Over time, the Phantom Stranger has grown to be a being of cosmic power and contemporary to the Spectre, though they both have very different approaches. They do clash and we had to do the whole heroes as chess pieces thing. The Phantom Stranger shows up when needed and often unasked, but you're never sure when or where he'll show up. People just accept it at this point, like, oh, the Phantom Stranger. Must be serious. So those were 10 mysterious superheroes. Can you think of any more mysterious? If you can, please leave them down below. I'm Sasha, thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.